Hello, this is Lexi with the Self-Healing Podcast. During this podcast, you will learn the ways of self-discovery, loving yourself, building up confidence, releasing the past, and much, much more. I hope you love this just as much as I loved creating it for you. I am always here for you if you need, and I will always be an open ear. I am sending you so much love and light, and I wish you all the best on this path we call life.
Hello, and welcome back to my fabulous podcast. Every single time I'm going to try and do a new intro because I feel like I got to keep you guys on your toes. Never know what you're going to expect with me. That's the best part of life, though. You never know what the freaking heck is going to happen. So, hello, I'm your host, Lexi Vitale. Welcome back to my late night jazz show. No, just kidding. We're doing self-healing. We're not doing jazz, unfortunately. That would be cool, though. Do a little radio show. Alright. I've now wasted almost an entire minute just on my intro talking about complete nonsense. So let's get into it. So today I wanted to go over the chakras. So I know I mentioned in the last episode that we are going to be going over all of the different energy forms in your body and the different energy centers and like blockages and how to unblock them and so on. So to start off, we know that energy introduces us before we speak. Right? So we can walk into a room and say, like, you walk into the room specifically and you see a bunch of people start staring at you. Like, maybe you have something on your face, but maybe you don't. And maybe it's just like, why is everybody looking at me? You, my friend, have a very strong energy. And it could be good and it could be bad. So we're going to figure it out from here if it's good or bad. Because, we don't ever want that aggressive energy to be the first thing that we present to people in a room. We know that energy is transferable, right? So if we are consistently trying to do certain things in our daily life that don't really align with our energetic centers and how they should be functioning, they're obviously going to get blocked. Like, say on a daily basis, you do the exact same thing, you go to work, you go to sleep. Basically, you do all the mundane things, as is easiest as to describe. Dude, it's Mercury retrograde, and this Mercury retrograde is really, really screwing up my communication this year. Because last Mercury retrograde in the beginning of this year, it was terrible. Well, honestly, it's just in general. The words just don't come out sometimes. So yeah, we're just going to get through it together, so suffer with me, because I'm having just as a hard time as you are probably following along right now. Okay, so researchers have shown that endorphins rise basically after an hour of exercise. So this is an example. So if you don't exercise on a frequent basis, or at least move your body, that's definitely going to cause some blockages, because you're not getting the energy out, it's just sitting there. It's like not doing anything. It's basically like a carbonated pop. Or water. Carbonated. I'm trying to think of the right word to call, because not a lot of people know it by pop. That's such a Michigan thing. What is it? I don't even know. Cola. They call it cola. Wow. My brain is blonde today. I'm a brunette, but I have blonde dyed hair. So I'm like, yes, the bleach seeped into my brain. What is wrong with me sometimes? Side note, I'm in the Starbucks parking lot right now. Not Starbucks, what am I saying? I'm in the Panera parking lot right now. I was gonna go to Starbucks, but I didn't end up going to Starbucks. I have no power, so I am really just utilizing this time to focus on me and being the best person I can be in this time frame while I have no power. And I'm sitting in my car with my microphone, my phone, my computer, my big box that allows me to do a wall plug-in. God, a plugin. This episode I know is going to be a little bit longer today just because I'm feeling extra giggly and, have fun with me. Enjoy it. Love it. Live it. Laugh. Love, live, laugh. On a side note, I got sidetracked. Squirrel. There's this car in the parking lot right now, and it says Ohana, and Ohana means family, and Lilo and Stitch, and I just think that is the cutest thing ever, because in life, I'm sidetracking, because in life, when we have people that we surround ourselves with that are people, like our people, like not actual family, but like they might be your actual family, but like friends and people that you are able to choose in your life, not your blood relatives. Those are the people that will honestly forever mean the most to you because you chose those people and they also chose you. And I think that just goes without saying is you should always choose people who choose you. Never choose anybody who doesn't reciprocate the same feelings, because when you open yourself up to a non-reciprocating relationship, that just sets yourself up for failure, unfortunately. I don't know why I just went on that little tangent, but maybe somebody needed to hear it. So back to the energy centers in our body. So we have 7 major chakra centers. They run from the base of your spine up until the top of your head and so on. When we start with the chakras, they are aligned in a rainbow pattern. So from the root up into the crown, it goes red to purple. From the root is red, and then purple is at the crown. And you can remember that because R and R, root and red, if you have a hard time remembering that. But so we're going to start with the root. So the root is basically the foundation and stability, obviously, because it's at the bottom. You have to have a strong foundation to support everything else. So if you have no foundation in life, your root chakra is probably blocked, and it's causing so much trouble in your day-to-day life. And there can be chakras that are opened or super opened, or like overworking or underworking or completely blocked. Now, if there is anything wrong with any chakra, the energy is not going to be able to move correctly through it. Therefore, the energy is just going to sit there. It's not going to be able to move freely. When you look at the energetic pattern of how energy moves through the chakras, it goes in a infinity symbol. So you start from the root, and then you work your way up through the chakras, and then you pull the energy back down through your head and weave it through the rest of your chakras. Once you just had weaved through. I'm gonna put a picture in the thing so you can see what I'm talking about, but this is how the energy should move and how it should flow. And if it's not flowing like that, then there's most likely something is blocked, because if your energy isn't being able to go in the full infinity symbol, it's stuck somewhere, like it's not completed. When we start at the root it's essential. We have to have the root balanced at all times, because this is how we view ourselves financially and like just in general how safe we feel on a daily basis. For the root mudra, this is something that you can do when you meditate to get it in balance. A mudra is basically a word that you can repeat over, and you say it with a certain vibration in your voice, and it will send the vibrations of the sound down to your root, or whichever chakra you're wanting to work on. So the root mudra is Lam. So you would say, it would be a very extended Lam. So just as an example, it would be Lam, Lam. And then you would continuously do it until you feel that you're balanced enough. It's intent and what you can focus on saying to yourself while you're saying that out loud is you want to focus on, I am strong, I am stable, I am at peace. And when we have a balanced root chakra, this is going to show us that we have security in ourselves, trust, we have validity in our experiences, and we have the ability to care about ourselves and others. And that's the key, because when your root is unbalanced, you could potentially take your needs and shove them down and put everybody else's crap over yours. But why are you? Because it's not your stuff to deal with. You should be dealing with your own stuff. When the root chakra is imbalanced, we can have different physical symptoms, different feelings in our legs, feet, tailbone, our immune system, and it can typically show up as like arthritis, knee pain, sciatica, eating disorders, constipation, because everything right there is at the base. We know that if energy is stuck in a certain area, it's going to hold on to that energy. And if that energy is a blockage, it could feel like pain because it is painful, because the energy is not being able to move anywhere. So moving on to the next chakra, we are going to go to the sacral. So the sacral is a nice orange color. Sacral chakra is about your sacred sexuality and your creativity and how you express yourself in the world. As people, we are very people are humans, but as humans, we are very sexual beings. We have a lot of sexual energy behind us, and I don't think that this practice is practiced enough, because I think we're in a world right now where everything is just kind of like, I'm going to do what I want to do because I want to do it. And that's great. I support that. You do you. But we have a sacred sexuality. That is something that we should honor as people. We shouldn't be sharing it with everybody just because they want it, or just because you want to. We should be taking that energy and putting it within ourselves and doing it in ways that we can be creative. We need to focus that energy into creativity instead of sex, because we are such creative people. And why would you want to give that creativity away? When you're with a partner who you don't do anything with besides like have sex, and like you don't really even have deep conversations, like you're just there to just be there, kind of like, it feels pointless. It's because it is. It's because you're getting nothing out of the situation. You're basically just giving to it, and in that, why are you still giving it? Like, why? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. If you have all this energy that you're putting towards somebody else, you're not even creative at all. You don't even have the energy to do anything. Have you ever been with somebody and you're like, don't want to do a single thing because you just are so drained? Like, anything in your day-to-day life like seems like a hassle. Like, you could even like, your health could start deteriorating. Like, you might even start looking bad. Like, you could start getting acne. You could start having your hair fall out. There's like a lot of things that could happen when you're with somebody that can really mess with your energetic frequency, like your aura and everything. And the fucking freaking crazy thing is you're allowing it. You're allowing it to happen. Don't. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. So basically the intent behind the sacral chakra is I feel. So it's, say, I feel creative. I feel flowy. For the sacral mantra, it's going to be VAM. So it would be VAM. I'm not going to do it again because I don't really want to. With the sacral chakra, that is focused on your sensuality, your vitality, your fluidity, your being able to be comfortable with taking risks. You're committed to being yourself and passionate about certain things. Physical symptoms that can occur with like blockages, they can show up as sexual issues, reproductive issues, urinary issues, kidney, hip, pelvic, back pain. A lot of emotional symptoms as well, and I think that personally this one affected me a lot. For emotional symptoms, they are expressed as struggles in our commitments to relationships and the ability to express our emotions. We don't really have fun, we don't really have any desires or creativity, pleasure. Certain things that affect you could be impotence, betrayal, or addiction. Moving on to the solar plexus, this is going to be a bright yellow, like a nice little canary bird. The mantra for the solar plexus is Ram, so it would be Ram, and it's spelled R-A-M, but I don't think it's Ram, I think it's Ram. And the intent behind that is I do. So I do make empowering choices. I do know I have self-worth. I know my self-esteem is high. I do have high self-esteem. When our solar plexus is balanced, we have feelings of self-worth, our self-esteem is high, and we have the ability to know ourselves without any projected masks. Right now, I'm working on my solar plexus so much. Our solar plexus is the heart of our inner child, and when your inner child has been deeply wounded and abandoned by you and by everybody else, that will put up such a big mask around everybody. Nobody will know the real you, and it's so sad because I don't even think you know the real you, unfortunately. Because I know that when I started digging into it, I really didn't know who I was. On this journey, when I started 2 years ago, like when I had my, I guess you could say, big like spiritual awakening, I completely had so much stuff change in my life. I didn't really know who I was because I think I was basing my life off of somebody else, and I wasn't confident within myself and how I felt about certain things and decisions that I was making, so I decided to throw it up in the air and say, whatever happens, happens. And by doing that, it allowed me to know that I was making that decision for myself, and that I could have faith in no matter what I did, I was doing that. Not somebody else. Not anybody else making that decision for me. And it's such a good feeling to be able to say that I did that. I changed myself. I changed my life because I did that. I want you to feel just as proud of yourself as I do right now. Wow, I'm having the biggest deja vu. What the heck? I want you to feel as proud of yourself as I do about myself, because when I say that self-appreciation and self-acceptance is something that everybody should have a chance to experience in life, it changes your outlook on so many things and how you view so many people, different perspectives. It just changes your life. And I just really would love to share that with somebody. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm making this podcast. Because I truly care about everybody. Some physical symptoms that can be shown with the solar plexus being unbalanced is stomach issues, digestive problems, ulcers, liver dysfunction, chronic fatigue, high blood pressure, diabetes, gallbladder, colon issues, emotional symptoms, which, like I said, hit me the most, would be like issues with personal power and self-esteem. Our own inner critic is so dominating that all of the fears, rejections, anything that you feel like upset about yourself, or like you don't feel like you look correctly, those things are going to be amplified when you're unbalanced, because it's basically shoving all the things that you think are wrong with you down your throat. and then you have to sit with it every single day, but you don't know what's wrong. And that's such a crappy feeling. It really is such a crappy feeling. I do want to end this episode here, and I want to do like a second part to this episode because I really went in depth in this one on like so much different stuff. So yeah, I really trail off on some tangents here, but I know that learning the chakras are important because when we know how to work with the chakras, then we can begin to move the energy. And when we start to move the energy, then we can actually start working on ourselves and doing the certain things. Well, actually, no, I guess I don't even want to say that. I don't want to say it's when you start doing it. I want to say it's you have to do it together. You have to do these things all at once, but I need to get the chakras talked about first so you can understand what they are. So thank you guys so much for listening to this episode today. I am going to do the second part now, so we will see you there. Bye!